These events showed how African Americans were discriminated against. This showed Malcolm X what he needed to do to help his community gain more rights.
Malcolm X spoke out for the rights of African Americans so that they could gain the privilege of owning properties and businesses. He had a strong voice and many supporters that helped to convince the government to give Black Americans human rights. And his speeches for Black property rights helped to gain rights for African Americans living in America, and is remembered in history because he supported Black property and business rights. He influenced a vast amount of people to the religion of Islam, and he also persuaded others throughout the United States to fight for injustice.
Malcolm X gave the African Americans community property rights. This led to the community gaining more rights and responsibilities. Malcolm X did this by giving speeches that focused on African American people who own businesses and properties. Here are some speeches that he wrote that were significant for the African American community as they remembered Malcolm X.
A political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him. My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. Yes, sir. This is American justice. Yes, sir. That's right. This is American democracy. Yes, and those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Right. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail.
As he supported African American businesses, he was able to speak about their rights and motivate others of his color to protest and speak about their rights. Malcolm X was significant in giving the African American community property rights, as they would not have been able to speak and gain rights this way if he had not stepped in to help. Malcolm X greatly impacted African American property owners and business owners. He helped give African Americans property rights by organizing temples in Harlem, Boston, and Philadelphia, which helped make him the principal manager of the two cities, Harlem and Philadelphia. Malcolm showed interest and put his feelings to work, as he spoke out about the issues happening to African American people with businesses and properties. He funded some of the African American community by organizing temples, which helped gain more power and leadership. Malcolm X also helped give some people a part of the African American community jobs. One of the most memorable is when he said our economic philosophy is that we should gain economic control over the economy of our community, the businesses and the other things which create employment so that we can provide jobs for our people instead of having to picket and boycott and beg someone else for a job. He impacted many African Americans in America with properties and businesses, gaining more respect and power over their possessions. He also made an impact on the rights of the African Americans who had properties and businesses because he helped gain more rights and responsibilities over their properties and businesses. This action led to them gaining responsibilities because they had to take care of their properties and businesses after they gained more possession. The amount of help and leadership that Malcolm X helped give the African American community property rights by organizing temples and helping fund money. He also made speeches that helped them most with the African American rights that he helped give out. This was a way that helped the African American community by speaking in different locations, which educated more people. Finally, Malcolm X helped give the African American community in America gain the rights and responsibilities over their African American properties and businesses.
Malcolm X played a very contributional role in preaching religion. From being born a Christian, he converted to the religion of Islam. Malcolm X joined the group of the Nation of Islam, following its beliefs. He later found out what they were doing was wrong and was not part of the rules of Islam. His teacher, Elijah Muhammad, was teaching wrong things, so he renounced the Nation of Islam and converted to Sunni Islam. This change influenced him to voyage to the religious city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, on a Hajj pilgrimage. In an article, he said, "I have just completed my pilgrimage, Hajj, here to the holy city of Mecca, the holiest city on earth, which is forbidden for non-Muslims to even rest their eyes upon. This pilgrimage is the most important event in all the lives of Muslims, and there is over 226,000 people who are here right now from outside of Arabia. He showed how empathetic the journey was and how beautiful the sights were. He saw so many Muslims in one area, and it was a sight like no other. Malcolm X influenced many people to convert to the religion of Sunni Islam. He talks about how he was never so highly honored in the Muslim world when one accepts Islam and sees it to be white or Negro. Islam recognizes all men as men because all the people in Arabia believe that God is one. They believe that all people are also one and that all our brothers and sisters are one human family. Malcolm X says that when he became a Muslim, he was not classified as black or white, but as Muslim. When Malcolm came back from the holy pilgrimage, he said, "In my 39 years on this earth," he would write in his autobiography, "the holy city of Mecca had been the first time I had ever stood before the Creator of all and felt like a complete human being." Malcolm had found the true religion, and this gave him a boost to help many others convert. This is why Malcolm X influenced many people to convert to the religion of Islam.
Malcolm X was an activist who helped many people by fighting injustice throughout the entire world.
Who think that they're going to get some kind of respect, recognition, or protection from the government is responsible for what is happening to black people in this country. The president has power. You notice he didn't send any troops into Birmingham to protect the Negroes when the dogs were biting the Negroes. The only time he sent troops into Birmingham was when the Negroes erupted. And then the president sent troops in there not to protect the Negroes, to protect them white people down there from those erupting Negroes.
Well, are not Negro Americans citizens?
If they were citizens, you wouldn't have a race problem. If the Emancipation Proclamation was authentic, you wouldn't have a race problem. If the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment to the Constitution was authentic, you wouldn't have a race problem. If the Supreme Court desegregation decision was authentic, you wouldn't have a race problem. All of this is hypocrisy. And it is this hypocrisy that has been practiced by the so-called white, so-called liberal for the past 400 years that compounds the problem, makes it more complicated instead of eliminating the problem.
Malcolm transitioned from being a felon in his younger years to becoming a famous influencer and injustice fighter. People were able to gain their rights back from unfair injustice movements from the heroic activist Malcolm X.
In conclusion, Malcolm X supported African American property and business rights, influenced a vast amount of people to the religion of Islam, and persuaded others to fight for injustice throughout the United States. As time passed, Malcolm X gave property and business rights to more African Americans. The African Americans still had to care for their properties and businesses that they owned. He assisted in giving property rights to African Americans by arranging temples in Boston, Harlem, and Philadelphia. Malcolm X became the principal minister of Harlem and Philadelphia, allowing him to advocate for African American property and business rights. Malcolm X impacted a vast quantity of people with the religion of Islam. As a result, Malcolm X became an associate of the Nation of Islam founded on his beliefs, only to discover that their practices were incorrect and not aligned to the correct principles of Islam. Malcolm says that when he became a Muslim, he was not classified as black or white, but as Muslim. Although he served a minority role in the civil rights movement, Malcolm X influenced others to fight for injustice throughout the United States. He could engage others with motivational speeches and empowerment campaigns. Malcolm transitioned from being a culprit in his younger years to becoming a recognized influencer and injustice fighter. His speeches and what he did for the community to give them property and business rights gave the community responsibility over their properties and businesses. The rights were what led to the duties.